Hey, Jesse Raspiller here from Venture Well Yoga. Happy Friday. We are wrapping up the month of February and our theme of connection. And we've got one more video here for you to help you connect a little more greatly. And for me, one of the most powerful connections is the connection that is greater than myself. And we can all label this in whatever fashion that we want. And I'm going to leave that up to you to put a label on that if you need to. Otherwise, for me, I look at this thing that is greater than me and how I connect to that through my thoughts and my words. And these thoughts and words have a huge ripple out to our world as we know it and the way that we sort of receive things back. And so they say that our thoughts create our actions, our momentum, and what we receive. And if this is the case, then we should really be careful with what it is that we've got going on around up here and what we are verbally putting out to the world, because I'm sure we've all noticed at one point or another the things that we say, how instantaneously we can receive that back. And so we really truly are powerful beings. And the more that we can harness this in a positive way, the more that we'll start to receive positivity back to ourselves. And for me, one of the most powerful practices that I do nearly every single day is practice japa with a mala. So this is a mala. We've probably all have seen this in some form or fashion, whether at our local yoga studio or maybe as the fashion statement that they've sort of become these days. But I want to share with you what the true intention behind these are. For some of us that come from a religious background, we may also know a similar tool as a rosary. And much like a rosary that we say prayers along each of the beads, the mala is similar. But we sort of take the religious context out, and while a mala can be traced back to many different religions in the East, to me, the mala is sort of this universal tool that no matter who we are, where we come from, what we connect to, what that higher source sort of looks like for us, the mala is a beautiful tool that sort of takes any stigma away from that. And I could go on and on about the details that are in a mala, but other than there being 108 beads total, and then this one extra bead, which we call the seed or the bija seed, I'm going to leave it at that. And so the way that I use this mala every day is with affirmations. And so we talked a few videos, several videos at this point, about how we set intentions each day and how we sort of create the energy that we want to put out there. And so a mala is, in essence, 108 times reverberating that intention. And so if you can imagine, if you wake up and you put that intention out to the world, the power that it could have to come back to you, what if we magnified that 108 times? And so the mala can be used in many different fashions. They say that Sanskrit has extra sort of reverberation out to the world. And so that's where you hear many people sort of using a mala still in Sanskrit, even though that might not be any of our native languages. And that's just the idea that the intention behind the Sanskrit enunciation sort of just creates a deeper vibration. But that doesn't mean that it's better. You want to choose the mantras and intentions that connect with you. And if you are not in a place that Sanskrit works for you, then you need to use what works for you, because again, it's about that intention we're putting out there. And we don't want to have any sort of negative connotation with the words that we're using in order to create these intentions. And so if English is your native language and you want to put some affirmations on the mala in English, then that's beautiful. For example, and just to show you how I use this, my yoga teacher, she told me that the pointer finger is our egoic finger. It's how we point out people's flaws and sort of cast judgment onto the world. So she always tells me, take the pointer finger out of the equation. Again, there is so many ways in the spiritual world to connect with different things. And so again, this is your invitation to make this yours. This has just made sense to me and has worked for me. And so I lie the beginning of the mala on my ring finger. So again, the seed bead here, and then to the right of it is where I start. And then I use my thumb to simply just sort of graze over each bead. And as I do so, I repeat either internally or externally out the mantra or affirmation that I'm putting out today. And so one of my favorite English mantras to use is amazing things are happening for me. It's as simple as that. And so you can just simply hold on to the first bead. Amazing things are happening to me. Amazing things are happening for me. Amazing things are happening for me. Amazing things are happening for me. And you could go around the 108 times and say that, and then come back to this seed and sort of just really re-implant that mantra with the intention behind it that you wish. And it's as simple as that, as simple as that. Of course, it can become a lot more complex, but at its simplicity, it's as easy to work with mala as just 108 times reverberating our intentions out there. Of course, we could start to dive in with Sanskrit and chants and different things that we want down the road. But this is a starting point for all of us, each of us, something that we can each attach to and make it our own. And again, allow it to come from the heart. Make it yours. Don't make it mine. Just because I shared with you what's worked for me doesn't mean that that's what is going to work for you. So if you find yourself with a mala, again, I like to say that the mala ends up finding you. I was in Bali when I found this. This is a beautiful pearl mala. I actually Googled, can pearls be malas? Because oftentimes we see seeds or different stones. And you know, this pearl, for many different reasons, found me, as I've come to find over the last couple of years. So you can, if you're seeking out a mala, oftentimes a local yoga studio or a metaphysical shop, you can find these at. But you know what? We never know when a mala is going to pop into our life. And so I invite you again to put that intention out there. If you're seeking a tool such as a mala, ask that higher power that will be if it can bring you something this beautiful. And so I hope that you have some fun with this. Again, integrate this into your life wherever works for you. For me, a morning practice with my mala is a beautiful way for me to connect and sort of ripple out the intentions that I want into my day. But you may find going to bed and sort of setting a peaceful intention before you go to sleep is a good practice as well. There's so much more that I could share, but this platform is very limited in the time that I get to spend with you guys each week. So and with that being said, too, last week on our video, I teased out something that I've been working on. And so our podcast is live with Venture Well. It is labeled, or I'm labeling myself on that platform as Lunatic Love. And you can learn a little bit more about what that label means on, I think it's the second episode. So we've got 4 episodes live. You can find it on all your major podcast platforms. But it's out there. We're having some fun with it, talking about deeper edges of these philosophies, as well as connecting to the lunar cycles, as I teased last week. And then, of course, love, meaning the love that we have for ourselves and others, and everything in between. And so if you have an opportunity to check that out, I'd love to hear your feedback. This is a really beautiful new opportunity that I'm sharing in an even deeper way. So many great events coming up. We'll be sharing with you what the theme is around March in a couple of days. So make sure you're signed up for our newsletters, and you can jump over and do that at venturewellyoga.com, as well as seeing all the incredible events we have coming up for the month. So in the meantime, I hope you have a beautiful weekend. And as we know, life's a beautiful journey. I hope you venture well.